thanks a lot for having me. And also thank you for joining me this incredible warm spring morning. I was so surprised checking that there is 1 degree at the night here in Berlin. Because in Warsaw I think it's like 15, so it's strange. I mean, we are pretty close to each other, but sometimes the weather can be tricky. So basically my name is Magierski. I'm responsible for Google Enterprise Analytics solutions in Central Eastern Europe. And what I'm going to talk about today is something what we are pretty excited in Google. Maybe some of you heard about that. We launched a couple of weeks ago new set of products which are addressed for the enterprise companies about analytics. And what I'm going to tell you first is like what is the vision behind what we are kind of addressing, what are the challenges we are addressing on the market today, and as well I will show you a real stuff. So I will guide you through the demo of all new products, which are six of them, and well, I will hope that you will enjoy this, because this is something what we are just came up with to the market and it's pretty new. So I guess some stuff can be new for you as well. All right. So first of all, like why I'm here, why Google is in this space, and why we think that there is a right moment to come up with the coherent solution for analytics. First of all, when the Google Analytics came up first on the market, it was originally Urchin company acquired by Google, then renamed to Google Analytics 9 years ago. The reality in internet was totally different for marketers and for analysis. So we are not really having the same behavior today like it was before, like 9 years ago, right? I mean, we are today, like, based on our internal research, more than 150 times reaching out to the mobile phones every day, right? Looking for new news, information, research, buying products, and so on. So it means that as a customers, we are instantly connected, right? And as marketers and analytics specialists, we want to use this opportunity, this 150 times per day, use these touch points to influence our customers to be there on this battleground, right? So the reality became very complex, but there's also an opportunity there to have a better relationship with your customers and have more touch points with your customers. What we want to do in our products, we want to assess, be and support marketers and analytics experts across all steps of marketing. So if you think the marketing really doesn't change much, is the same today as it was 20 or even 100 years ago. So the first step was always like to find out the insights about customer behavior, then came up with some actions, then deliver those actions, and at the end measure it, right? So does it work what we do, or does not? Or we should continue doing this next year or not, right? So this is really a foundation of the marketing. But the reality today is that even the first step, right, understanding the customer journey, especially in the highly connected world, this is already a huge challenge, right? So how do you understand the customer journey if you don't know if the guy on the mobile phone and the guy on the desktop is actually the same guy, right? So this is this huge complexity which really came up with the technology, so on. And another thing is setting actions, right? So marketing, digital marketing, is not really a domain of the specialists, of the experts in the organization anymore. I mean, of course, you have experts in marketing, but as well, digital marketing, especially for e-commerce, right? For the pure players of digital space, is a core of the business of the companies, right? So it means that you need to mobilize more and more employees in your organizations to be somehow engaged in your marketing activities, which also means that not all of your employees are super geeks and very, fluent in the specific marketing tools, which means that you need to provide them simple solutions. Another thing is the experience and the engagement you propose to your customers. So obviously, if you don't understand the customers from the first step, you cannot really provide the right quality of experience, the right advertising messaging, the right content on your website, on your mobile apps, and so on. And in the end, it all came up to calculating ROI. It all comes to be able to join all the data sets, all the information, important touch points you have in your marketing efforts to understand what works or where you just lose your money as an organization. So also quite recently there was a research done by Forrester, and to summarize this, are really big two main things in this research. The first is that the marketers see the problem with the data integration. So they see that the space is pretty fragmented, that systems or teams are working in silos. And another thing, this is the last insight, is the opportunity, right? The marketers as well understand that having the rich data insights and understand customers better is the competitive advantage, right? And everyone wants to have it. So what we came up with, this is the explanation of the new suite of products. The whole suite name is Google Analytics 360 suite. Sometimes it's confusing because Google Analytics, what was before the Google Analytics Premium, now is called Analytics 360, and it's just one piece of the puzzle. And then we have few other things, and some of those are already there. For example, Tag Manager. Tag Manager 360 is the old good Tag Manager, but with the enterprise features on. Attribution 360, it was previously called Adometry. It is a company acquired by Google specializing in attribution, and now rebranded to Analytics 360. And the rest are pretty new products. So Optimize, a module created for content experiments and personalization. Audience Center, Google own DMP, data management platform, when you can manage and analyze your audiences and activate data across different buying platforms. And on top of this, data visualization tool, Data Studio, something where the place where you can create dashboards, reports, share it easily across organization, and enable as well the cooperation. The whole suite as well is well integrated with the Google ecosystem. Below here you have the gateway to big data processing. So Google Cloud as a BigQuery is just a gateway. You can use the data from all of those modules for more advanced analytics in Hadoop, in Spark, or so on. And obviously the integration with DoubleClick, which is the Google's media buying platform, but as well third-party platforms. So we are not locking you in the Google ecosystem. Of course, I mean the native integration will be there, but there is also integration with the third-party platforms like MediaMath, like Adform, and so on. All right, this is a kind of a quick introduction to the suite and why we are here and what is the main purpose. But what I really wanted to present to you is a real thing. Is a live demo. So for that purpose, please meet your trip. So imagine that you are a travel website, and you were historically specialized in selling budget trips, but just recently you came up with the new set of products, luxury travels, and you are looking for increasing your, let's say, like your most important customer segment, who are interested in luxury trips. And of course that's works also for your bottom line, obviously, because you have more margin on luxury trips. So I will go through many pieces of the puzzle presented to you before, show you how we interactively solve this challenge here. So first of all, I will start with analyzes my customer behavior on the website. So for this, I will use Google Analytics Premium, called previously now Analytics 360. Here there is a e-commerce enhanced e-commerce model implemented. You will have the classic funnel coming from different stage, and on this based on this report, you can understand what is the conversion rate, for example, what is the drop-off rate, and so on for your customers. Because this is the Analytics 360, a paid version of Analytics, also means that you don't have problem with samplings, you don't have the problem with the limits of data, and you are natively integrated with the rest products of the suite and with DoubleClick. What we really want to do in this example, we want to define the segment of people who are interested in our luxury trips service. Right? So for that, I just created a very simple rule that people who visited this website, subsite, are the segment we are looking for. And next, I will export this segment to the different tool. And in this case, the different tool is Optimize for the experimentation. So here we have our scenario of the demo. So first I was looking for the behavior of my customers, creating the segment for the luxury travelers. After that, I want to deliver specific experience for my luxury travels only. Then I want to expand my marketing based on the luxury travel segment definition. I will try to look for more people who are similar to those who are my best customers. And when we are in the marketing activities, we want to launch attribution to understand where we make money, where we lose money in our marketing efforts, and at the end create a report, create a dashboard to summarize the performance and to share the metrics across whole organization. So okay, so I did already. I show you the Google Analytics part. Is nothing new. You're probably more or less familiar with Google Analytics. Let me jump to the Optimize. So as you remember, I defined the segment in Google Analytics. I shared the segment with Optimize, and this is the interface of the new experiment tool. Here I want to create a A/B test. I will just name it luxury 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, the name of the experiment. And here, the interface is pretty simple. There are, for example, few steps I need to finish before I can run the experiment. So first of all, I have my original version of the website, and I want to create a variant. I can name it variant 1. And let's edit this variant. So now what you're going to see, the website with the visual editor, let's say that, for example, our marketing team have a hypothesis that if we remove the prices from the slider, right, like this one, I'm just doing this, like there are 3 slides for 3 different trips, that if we remove those prices, we'll increase transactions, right? So just the hypothesis, sample 1, let's test it. So with this editor, of course, you can do many other things. It's similar to the other products which are available on the market. You can change colors, you can add text, and so on. But what I just did, I removed some information, right? Okay, let me see how it looks like. So this is the preview mode. Okay, we have the website without the price. All right. So let me now save the variant. Okay. And And before I can start the experiment, there's a few more things I need to do. So first of all, I need to choose the objective. In this case, I already say that we want to check which version of the website brings more revenue, so transactions. And already here is good to mention that transaction is the same metric which is in Google Analytics. So we share the same foundation of metrics, and we don't need to redo the things. We don't need to double our work. And the second thing, as you remember, I wanted to check this experiment, this hypothesis, only for the luxury travelers. So the people who already showed the interest in my luxury services. So here there are some targeting options, and I can put another condition. Here's like many things I can add. I can, for example, constrain the experiment only to some geos, for example, only Berlin. But I can also use the Google Analytics segments, and in this case, I would just choose the segment we already created before and share with Optimize. All right, and this is it. So in this moment, I can start the experiment, and now randomly assign it people who are part of the segment luxury travels. When they visit the website, they will see either one version or second version, and after a while, for example 2 weeks, we can discover which works better. And the next step, what is usually be done, is that whenever we discover, for example, a new hypothesis which proved to be working, we want, for example, to personalize. So the next step would be that for our luxury travel, we will show different variation of the website than for our standard travelers, for example. And we also can do it in this tool. All right. So let me jump to the next step. I told you that we are looking for the similar people around the internet to our luxury travelers, because we want to expand our sales, right? So what we do, we are going to our DMP platform and data management platform of Google, and what we have here is the all defined audiences segments we have from different marketing channels like AdWords, like DoubleClick, like third-party platforms, also like analytics. Here we have the same segment what we defined it in analytics. We also can see here third-party audiences, so the data about the users' cookies data we can buy on the market from the third-party providers. Also there is a free Google data within for which we don't pay. All right, so let's say that I want to look for similar people to my best customers, to the luxury audience. So let's first let me examine who are the luxury travelers. And as I see in this tool, on the top, this is a summary of the Google's data. So we know about our customers that what are the gender, what are the age, what is the income. But what is really interesting, it is the thing here. So here we have the segments, or actually the data about the users we are able to buy on the market, ordered by the similarity index. So, for example, using this, we can create a new audience. For example, I'm just taking 3 top ones, like control seekers and roller coaster romantic, because for some reason those segments are the most similar to the luxury travelers who are visiting my website. And now I can, okay, I'll just jump here already. This is to the creator, and now here I can create a new segment to reach more users. So in this segment, I want to include those three audiences I selected, and automatically exclude my current customers. Here I can see a brief summary of like how many cookies are overlapped with this. Oh, this is what I'm buying, and my current users. Like again, the same statistics about the gender and age. I also can, and what is very interesting here, I can mix this information from many sources. So, for example, like this data is coming from the third-party data providers. This data is coming from my Google Analytics, but I also can add some conditions which are coming from the media platforms. So in this case, for example, let me use a global attribute and the metric so-called impressions. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just defining that all people who are my luxury travelers and who saw any of my campaign banners more than 3 times are excluded from this audience. And this is updated real time, and this saves us wasted impressions in our marketing. So by saving this definition, I can activate this definition of the audience with the third-party platforms, with DoubleClick, with AdWords, with YouTube, and so on. All right. So as I'm there doing the marketing activities, let me now start examining what works, what doesn't work. And in this case, we are in the module of attribution. And the important thing to mention about Attribution 360 in this package of products is that Attribution 360 is based on so-called data-driven attribution. So you're probably familiar with the term last click, first click attribution, and so on. So the let's say standard or traditional ways of understanding which channel really bring us a conversion and how to credit those channels. And sometimes, I mean, for particular businesses, especially where the customer journey is having more than one touch point, the last click attribution is not really the best metric we can use. And what we do in Attribution 360, we are statistically, so this is the model which is based on the data, which analyze all the touch points in the customer journey. We infer what is really the right credit for each channel. So for example, like in this case, when we compare the last click model with the data-driven model, we see that we put out some credits from the paid search, because usually the paid search is the closing channel, and we put something out to the social and display perspective, because usually those channels are the opening channels. And by calculating all the data, analyzing all the, let's say, transactions and customer journey, we discover that without the display, we wouldn't have closing, right? So that's why we should value display or social a little bit more than it comes from the last click. And of course, in attribution model, we are not only, let's say, limited to very high level analysis on channels, right? Like paid search or organic search, and how we value it. We can go very granular into the level of even a single creative, right? So for example, this is a chart where we see all of the dots are the creatives, like banners. Let me change the scale in this chart. So for example, I want to scale that whenever we pay more than $50 to acquire new user, it's highlighted red. And in this report, we can easily see which creatives perform and what are the cost and what is the return of investment. So for example, in this creative, the name is like CA fashion, whatever. We see that on average, acquiring new customer cost us $916, right? But for example, on this creative, $16. Right? So we can really analyze the marketing in a very granular way. There are many, let's say, there's a whole hierarchy of things we can analyze, like I say, creative placement, sites, date, time range, and so on. Different conversion styles. So in this case, we are looking for signups, but it also can be purchases and so on. So this is the view for the digital channels attribution, but also the module has the reports on more, let's say, more complex, more high on the higher level of the channels. So, for example, here we can see, I don't know if this is actually visible, that we can compare as well what is the value of not digital channels. So, for example, how much to our KPI. So the KPI here is a total sales. So how much to the total sales we get from the weather, right? So for example, weather as defined somehow, for example, like sunny weather, really bring us almost like, I don't know, like $1.8 billion, whereas email bring us $2.6 billion, right? This is just the example data, but what I wanted to show you is that we are not really limited to the digital touch points, but we also can assess offline touch points and even the things we don't have impact on, like what the competition is doing, right? So in this case, we see that the competition actions bring down our sales by $1 billion in this example. The other thing, what is available in this tool, is the simulators. So not only understanding like which channels, which touch points bring us sales, but also try to optimize this. And we can run such a simulators. And in this case, we see that the output of the simulator is that we should increase the spend on the out-of-home advertisement and paid search, decrease spend on the display, and this will bring us $0.1 billion in sales, right? This is as well. Again, this is the example, but the idea is that having the same budget, but changing the way how we distribute the money, we can optimize the main KPIs for us, like sales in this example. And it is even going in more details that we have like all channels here and each month, and what is the spend, what should be the budget for each month for each channel. All right, so we are almost on the end of our journey. We did some analysis on the customer behavior. We experiment with the experience, with the content. We increase our marketing scale and marketing reach. We assess the marketing actions, what works, what didn't work, and at the end we want to share the results in the easy and approachable way. So the thing what I want to show you is a tool what we are really excited about. Is something what is not only the part of the Google Analytics 360 suite, but it's also integrated with the other Google data sources, like for example BigQuery, Google Cloud, or Excel. And here we can create very easily the visualizations. So for example, let me share, for example, with my co-workers main informations, like basic informations about the business. So for example, I want to share with them where the customers are coming from, right? So the map, which is similar to one you have in Google Analytics. Then maybe I want to understand as well what are the main trip destinations our customers are buying. So here is like a pie chart. Let me change the metric to the destinations, all right? And already in this example, I'm showing you data integration, because this data comes from analytics, this data comes from internal CRM database. And it's all connected on the data visualization level. Apart from that, maybe I would just show some time scatter, comparing the standard users. As I mentioned you on the beginning, we are looking for expanding our luxury segment. So it may be it's important on the high level. What is the comparison between how many we have standard users, how many we have luxury users, and I can as well add some some visualizations, some graphics, like pictures. All right, let me maybe just showing you how easy it is to customize such a dashboard. All right, so let me send it back. All right, okay. Maybe it's not the most pretty dashboard ever, but it was created on the stage in 1 minute, right? And the really nice thing about this dashboard, okay, I will just show you like more advanced one. So imagine I have a little bit more time. I can come up with this. So here are like the most important KPIs of the business, like how many luxury trips sold, how many standard trips sold, what is our CPA, where the people came from, what are the destinations, and so on. Here is some data got from the attribution model, like what are the spend on different channels. Also, there's an overview of the simulator, where we should spend more, where should we spend less. And this kind of reports we can very easily share. So even now, for example, you can see that it is me, so I am browsing this report, this is my colleague, and we can easily, I don't know, share it with someone else from the organization. For example, I will just send it to another colleague, just to view, and that's it. This lives only in the browser. It's browser-based reporting, which means you don't need to implement new software. You don't need to install anything on the computers. Whenever you're in your corporate network, it works instantly. And that's it. This is really the summary of the experiment I was like coming up together with you. So we managed to connect the data sets, increase the collaboration of the teams by sharing the data for the easy to do and easily to digest reports and dashboards, and really focus on actionability. So this is as well pretty important. This is like a mission behind the whole suite that is not only reporting, is not only looking for the insights, but as well using the data for optimization, using the data for real decision making. All right, so that's really what I wanted to present you. The suite, the idea behind that, show you the real thing, that you could feel like how the tools look like, and you could experience like how it is in action. All right. Right. Thank you.